Welcome to the Lost Omens Presents, the Slithering. I am your new host, significantly less better looking, Tim. And with me, we have most of your favorites from the regular Lost Omens podcast. We have Dan.
I'm there. Here.
Dani.
Hey.
Taylor.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
And as a very special treat, not only do we have Ben, we have Ben in person.
It's true. Here I am.
This is all of our first time with Ben in person. We are insanely excited.
You guys sweat a lot more than I thought.
Yes.
It doesn't come through the Discord as well.
I think I haven't installed that update now.
I think a lot of it comes down to we wrestle in one big pile before every time.
I was wondering why you were so high energy.
Gotta get amped up, slapping our muscles, you know. It's wild.
So I have a fucking condition, by the way.
I think they've got like a tab of all the conditions.
Oh, the box is over there.
One is Sweaty Nerd.
Oh, cool.
I forgot JP wasn't playing, so I put the box of condition cards in his spot.
And it's infinite, so it just...
Oh, cool.
So this is episode 0 of the Slithering Deluxe
Adventure, I think they call it?
Deluxe Adventure, the old DA.
You got the book right there.
Yeah, I don't like books.
That sounds like work.
So we are going to get to know everyone a little bit more and get to know the characters that they will be playing in this campaign, because these are all new, all fresh, all different, dudes or whatever.
I like that you put the all fresh in the middle there so we don't get hit with a trademark infringement.
They reached out to me ahead of time and they were like, don't you fucking dare use the trademark from a campaign that we have already scrapped.
That is Sam Wilson, Captain America's leadership ability. You cannot repeat it.
That is very accurate. So I have a handful of questions. We'll see how many we get through. And then at the start of each episode, we will be asking another one, so that as we progress through this particular deluxe story, we can get to know each other a little bit more each time. Dan,
for the record, no, me first. For the record, I want it to be known that I not only took notes, but they're color-coded.
Ooh.
Dangos.
So
I don't even have paper to keep track of the things I'm supposed to keep track of. So you are well ahead of the game.
I want super brownie points from the GM because I did my homework in a very artful style, and I'm better than everybody. So
I was doing 4 solid hours of trying to pick a voice on the ride up.
I still don't have a voice. That's the thing. I have all of this. I don't have a voice yet.
Can I ask you a super personal question?
Yes.
Can I borrow a piece of paper? Because I don't have any.
I feel like I'm back in high school again. Look, I did my homework super well, and yes, I can give you the supplies you need to do yours.
8 different gel-colored pens for
I don't get that fucking smiley face sticker, I'm going to lose it.
And if I get a 98, I'm going to cry myself to sleep for a week.
If the 100 doesn't have 2 dots and a semicircle for a smiley face.
My mom's suing the school.
I give out scratch and sniff stickers, and high schoolers love it.
Have they
They
come out
think
with
that they're too cool.
we already bought every scratch and sniff sticker?
They do have bad, but the bad ones are really expensive. And I was like, you guys aren't worth that humor. Sorry.
The main difference between getting a 98 and 100 on a test is if you get a 98, that's all you could get. While if you get 100, it's all you were allowed to get.
Oh.
You know?
Okay.
So
we're
that's
limited.
a super important distinction.
Yeah.
My cousin Johnny always said 65 is as good as 100, and I got me a degree.
I mean, it rounds up.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know what else you need.
Ultimately, yeah.
So let's get right into it.
Yes.
Let's go around the table, starting with Dan. Introduce your character. Let us know what you're playing. If you want to divulge your archetype or your, some might say, heritage, ancestry. I forget actually what most of them are called.
There are kind of a lot
When
now.
I'm trying to make it, Dan's like, so what do you want for your heritage, and what do you want for your ancestry, and what do you want for your background, and what do you want for your this? I'm like, I know what I want to be. I want to be a this. Like, stop throwing so many fucking complex things at me. I just want to be straightforward.
I want more complex things. Give me more rules.
No.
Give me more source books.
crunch.
He's like, well, what kind do you want to be? Like, I don't know what that means.
The big amazing difference between Pathfinder 2 and Pathfinder 1 is when you make your character, there are 8 new categories that you get to choose super minor things from and in between, and it is so great.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it a lot.
So Dan, who are you playing, and what does he do?
Well, I am playing Zardoff, and he is he looks like a man, except he has very pallid gray skin, and he has almost looks like blue tattoos, any part that is exposed. Most people would recognize that as a rare android of Galarian.
Would people actually recognize it? Like, are androids just out and about? You know, like possums? Like, you know they exist, but...
You only see them dead on the side of the road?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I found one in my garage once.
An android?
Yeah. It was right next to the dead possum.
Oh, cool.
Androids also carry their babies in their tummy.
Symbiosis,
Right,
as
yeah.
I understand it.
And they're immune to Lyme
Rabies.
disease.
Oh, that too.
Yep.
Well, if he sees somebody
ticks?
staring, he will clarify that, yes, he is an android.
Well, I'm wondering if that's
Okay.
just common knowledge that androids are about.
I think it would common knowledge enough to be like, is that an android? Is that what one of those things look like?
Like, if you're in a city, people know about androids. If you're in a podunk town, maybe not.
Yes.
I think that seems pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're certainly not. Everyone's not aware of them by any means, especially even in the city. As you get closer to, is it Numeria?
Yes, that's kind of where they're from.
Probably more people know, but as you get further south, probably it gets a little bit more lean on knowing whether they're around or not. They are a rare ancestry or heritage.
Yes,
Okay.
I believe.
Yes.
I bet you Uncle Chet has seen a couple androids in his time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He arm wrestled one.
And probably one.
Took the arm.
Yeah.
Took the whole arm.
Fucking trophy.
Used it as a crutch after he broke his ankle.
I was thinking oars. Use it as an oar.
That too. It's a multi-purpose tool. I gotta write this down.
Back scratcher.
Taylor.
Yeah.
Who are you?
It's quite the existential question, actually. I am Aldurin. I am a dwarf champion of Pharasma. And I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but every single time I put it in text or speech to text, it says for asthma. So I'm either really about keeping dead people dead or making people not breathe. I'm not really sure.
Sucks to your ass, Mark, you know?
Sounds like you're not a very good champion. Like they kicked you out of the college or something.
Oh, geez. So
I've always heard it said Pharasma.
Same.
But I hear different dialects of them all the time.
Pharasma.
Yes.
Pharasma.
Charisma.
I was going to do an elf and just be this hoity-toity piece of crap.
Oh, I got you covered.
Elves. Oh, great.
no.
I'm so glad that I didn't do that then. But yeah, I am actually a returned, which Pharasma's not really keen about dead people coming back unless she has a purpose for them. So she did. And she kind of didn't want me to come back, but I did. So here I am.
You're undead?
No.
Re-dead.
I am.
Relive?
Yes, I'm from Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, clip in that
Terrifying.
sound clip,
Yep.
please.
Gosh, they are so scary
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you're 10.
It's such a good interface screw. It's like, my buttons don't work. I'm going to freak out.
But yeah, I had once died and now I'm back alive.
That's cool.
Right
It
on.
was an interesting experience, to say the least.
Dani,
Hi.
what's up?
Hi.
What are you doing? Why are you here? Who even are you?
I'm here because I have to be, because contractually I'm obligated to play in a game.
You signed that? I thought it was a joke.
You know, I don't know.
That's always how I present it.
Tim tells me to sign
then I
stuff
have
and
the
I sign
notary
it. I don't know.
Who's
So
that
here I am.
guy? Why does he have a desk?
I am playing Hana, and she is a Kitsune rogue, which I'm super excited. So I'm a fox person.
Hot.
Yeah.
Adorable.
What
So I
color
told
fur
Dan,
is
she's got red fur. I told Dan, like, I just want to be a fox person rogue. And he's like, yeah, but like what, like background, what, I don't know. I want to steal shit and be a fox. That's all I want.
This is going to be perfect.
Yeah. He's like, well, what magic things do you want? I'm like, I just want to steal shit.
Dude, we didn't plan this at all, and it's going to work out great.
I'm really excited.
So Ben, what do you got going on?
So my character is named Lady Vesh. She is a catfolk of high society. So she doesn't steal things. She's like the other side of She's the furry on the other side of the tracks in the good part of town.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, with the Soches. Outlander, outsider reference, whatever.
That's what I thought you were going.
It was
Pony Boy.
Yeah, Pony Boy.
Yeah.
Stay gold, Pony Boy. And
That was before my
I am
time.
a witch, which means I have a familiar, which is also a cat, which is
Okay.
ontologically complex.
Go on.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I'm a cat lady, and I have a little cat that is pretty much just like always kind of rubbing up against my leg.
Kind of a Goofy and Pluto situation.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yes.
All right.
Cowboys of Moo Mesa, same idea.
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
All right. So let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's get real and deep with each of you. So, first question. We all have family, be it by blood or by social bond. Our heritage can impact the way that we see the world and ourselves. What is your family like, and how did the way you were raised affect who you became? Go for it.
This is an off-topic question.
Okay. Everyone gets one.
Are we doing this in character? Do you want us to answer this?
That is up to you. If you have, if you are confident in your voice, go for it. But you, by all means, may save it for the first episode.
So I have never been confident in but that's beside the point.
Just be a confident finisher.
I'm real good at that, actually. You want me to roll 35 damage? Because I got you covered. I guess I'll go first. So can you repeat? No, I'm kidding.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
So my entire family were tomb guardians. It was kind of like one of those, you're going to be a tomb guardian just like I am, like, that sort of thing.
We meet your dad.
Yeah, right. Like, how did you meet mom? Well, she was a tomb guardian. So
And the tombs, if you can believe it.
the old local tombs. So everybody was a tomb guardian. You were expected to be in that line of family. And,
Kind of a big deal for Pharasmites.
well, it wasn't really what I wanted to do. And I did it because I had to. I made, a couple of friends who were guard mates, that sort of thing. And then it died. Yeah. And then I completely 180'd and went adventuring and stuff. So
So did your death kind of allow you to be able to go out in the world?
I don't really know what happened between death and afterwards. It's all like I was gone. So I don't really know what happened, but I woke up and Pharasma essentially spoke to me and said, I need you to go do XYZ. And she didn't really tell me how, but I'll get it done at some point,
So Pharasma gave you a real second coming.
More or less, yeah. She was like, let's see what this guy's got. And
Mulligan.
But this
Right.
time with feeling.
There we go.
literally feeling it. So
Oh no.
Ben, how about you?
Let me see if I can do this. Well, when I was a little girl, I came from the northern wastes. There's always a northern waste, so no matter where you are. And I was from the frozen wastes, hence the fact that I'm a winter catfolk. And my mother was a woman who stayed at home, but my father, he was the one I was really interested in because he was a traveling merchant, and he would bring tales of all sorts of different cultures and people back to us. And eventually took me on the road as somebody to help him move goods, and that's where I found my love of cities.
I like that a lot.
Oh, I also have a brother who happens to live in the same city, but whereas I am a lady of the court, he is a humble merchant, although he does do very well for himself.
Okay. What is your brother's name?
Anders.
Anders. I like that name.
He likes it too.
Danielle.
Ugh.
Who's that?
go to your room.
What about my given name? What am I at work?
What's your Earth given birth name?
Hi.
What's up?
Okay, so Hannah's family, they are, despite my roguish nature, in name, my family, we are also members of high society as well. And my parents, my father's name is Hoshi, my mother's name is Hanami, and my brother's name is Hanun. And we work specifically helping merchants and whatnot up their security detail. We show them how they could possibly be targets of thievery.
This is cool. Our stories are so close to each other.
Can I ask you a personal familial question?
Yes.
Do you legitimately help merchants find their shortcomings, or are you a racketeer?
It's a legitimate business.
It is?
The family business is legitimate.
Okay.
Yes.
That's super great.
Right? And I had that idea before we found out more about the adventure. So I was like, this is perfect.
That really kind of ideal.
Yep. Yeah.
Zardoff.
Oh, well, you see, as an android, strictly speaking, I don't have much of a family, per se, but being from Numeria there, I was woken up from a pod, one of their starships. I was been told they had been called, and there's some others in there that doesn't look like me, but pretty much my own man, I'll put in quotes, as people often do. Pretty much since I woke up, I've just been kind of heading south and seeing what this world's all about.
Yokel android. That's
It's the hat. It's the hat.
yeah.
That really pulls the whole damn bit together.
If I squint, I can pretend that your headphones are like a beer hat. Like you have beer cans on either side of.
I got to see if I can find like a cowboy hat of my dad's or something for a future.
Like a Doug Dimmadome, like 10-gallon.
Yes. I'm waiting for the reveal of your character, whether he's branded with like a Ford trailer hitch or
That's a whole side quest.
Right.
He's definitely got truck nuts.
What does this do?
But it's an android, so they're like bolts. Like
Every city you go
washers.
into, people just come out of the woodwork to tell you about your expiring warranty.
We've been trying to reach you.
Now, see, my truck's from 1973. We didn't have warranties back then.
It's not even 1973 yet.
They use a different calendar, as I understand.
So, branching off of your family, let's talk about your home. We all come from somewhere. Home, some might say, is where the heart is, a place that you feel connected to no matter where you may be. Where do you consider to be home? Is it where you grew up? Is it a place that you made for yourself? Or somewhere where your favorite memories just happen to be? And I'm going to offer an additional starting hero point for the first person to cut everyone else off and answer this question.
I'm from Kibwe.
Amazing.
There you go.
Fast!
That'll work.
Do you see my notes? My very detailed notes?
No.
They're literally color-coded and you can't see them.
Yeah. Number 2, home.
So you're from here.
Yes.
And you've always been here and your family's always been here.
That's not what you have written down.
The city where the adventure takes place.
I mean, verbatim. That's
Must be a dialect thing.
them there androids ain't good at reading.
So one super kind of important thing about Kibwe is that over the last several generations, they've been rolling back their laws on ownership of other people and things. Have your family been here for generations, or are you first or second gen in Kibwe itself?
My parents probably came into Kibwe. I was born here. My brother was born here.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
Yep.
Taylor.
So I actually didn't come up with this, and I apologize. Probably a very large hold, like a very wealthy hold.
Okay.
So more or less so my whole family was, oh God, you guys are making me talk about this, huh? Anyways, my whole family was, I should probably go into voice for this. Sorry, hang on.
Gotta get in the character.
Hang on, I gotta get really non-emotional about anything. So my whole family was part of a hold where the tomb that we used to watch over was the tomb of big scholars and kings and emperors and empresses and very well-known sorcerers. So there was all of our riches in the hold that we could use were nothing compared to what's in this tomb. So wherever would have been like the largest dwarven hold in Pathfinder area would have been it.
In the general Pathfinder region.
Right. Like whatever that might be, that's where I'm from. I don't know what that is, to be honest.
Here's the good news. I don't either.
Great.
So,
that one.
from the big dwarf place, I think, right over there in the northeastern, southern west part.
So if you know if that exists or you know what I'm talking about, that's where I'm from.
It's a secret that we'll find out later. It's like a mystery tool.
It's definitely a Mouseketool. Sorry, Disney.
Oh,
Never apologize to Disney.
I'm a Disney dwarf.
So let me ask you,
Dopey.
It's dopey.
what is more home for you now that you have left at the start of your second life? Do you have a fondness for where you came from, or are you more excited and have more ownership over the world at large now that you are finally out and in it?
Excitement's a good word. There's a lot of excitement to be had than just standing or guarding, right? Of course, nostalgia, you get certain whiffs when you go into a cave, etc. But they're more dungy than they are actual, proper dwarven society. Usually, with dwarven society, we try to clean up after us. I'm sorry, I'm trailing. But it's nice to be out in the open fields and walk amongst trees. Most of the time, the trees are strange things to me. But I guess I would say I'm a man who wouldn't be able to choose either. I do enjoy the fondness of home and being in the hold, but being out and about is definitely new and exciting.
Great. I am excited that you're excited.
Thank you.
Ben.
real quick before Ben goes, I believe dwarf holds in general in Valerian are typically called sky citadels.
That.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
Or they used to be, or something like that.
I see. Yes, I'm opening Dongun Hold, and it says Sky Citadel. So I don't know what that means.
There you go.
Ben, you're up.
Well, as I'd stated, my early life was in the frozen wastes up north. Somebody can figure out what sort of tundra, icy place I must have come from. I don't know the names of it, so that's homework for the listener. But as I had said, my father and two brothers of mine had all immigrated into Kibwe, which is where I have grown up and found myself a place at a lord's estate. He's not one of the most well-known lords, and again, we're going to pretend proper nouns that I don't currently have access to. But it is a comfortable living, and I'm a valued member.
So your family's a recent addition to Kibwe,
Indeed.
but you were born here
I was not. I was not born in
or
Kibwe.
raised here.
I was maybe 5 or 6.
Okay.
If we wanted to, or somewhere in the 5 to 10 range, using human years. If you was when I came into Kibwe.
Okay.
So for the most part, it's been my home. But I do take pains to still maintain in contact with my family back up north, and I hope one day to introduce them to the city if they would have it.
All right, great. Do you prefer the cold frozen wastes of the frozen wastes?
I
Or
do.
do you like the middle of the jungle where you are now better?
There is something to the frozen waste. There's sort of a delicate beauty of it, but it is very limiting. So what I have done is, instead of having the fur of my people, I have made a fur coat out of my own fur. So I'm the hairless cat who wears a fur coat. And so if I feel myself nostalgic for what I once lived like, I just put that on. Most of the time I'm wearing it. It's a sort of a comfort article.
I adore that.
It's such a good little detail.
It is. Dan.
Well, since I've been traveling since I woke up, really any place where I can sleep out under the stars is going to be home to me. Not a big fan of these large city places, but it's where you find the bounty boards and such to go on the hunts. That's kind of my bread and butter, as it were. So, basically, just been this Mwangi Expanse here has been a pretty nice place for these hunts, and I've been here for a little while. But Kibwe, I don't want to stay here long if I can help it, just because too many people around, not enough nature.
So the good news, at least about Kibwe, is that literally every potential direction out of Kibwe is just jungle.
Perfect.
So you are in a good spot to be in. As far as what you actually do in your day-to-day, where did you get your skills and abilities? Did you have a specific teacher or mentor? Did you apprentice? Or were you self-taught? Dan, why don't you start?
Oh, yeah. For me, a lot of it was just already up in my noggin when I did wake up there. I've been training as I've been moving through the lands, and I've hired a few people here and there to teach me to thrust with the spear a bit better, or I learned this weapon, the kukri. That's been pretty nice to me, and it's just, you find teachers where you can.
I can see the phonetic spelling of it, like as you say it, Kookray.
My favorite thing is I can pronounce stuff however I want and get an accent.
I like that a lot. So the spirit and kukri, huh?
Yes.
I also like that a lot. Ben.
Sure. Well, my abilities, of course, are given to me by an otherworldly entity, a patron of mine that offers me the abilities through my familiar, but I didn't have that familiar always. Sylvester, my companion, he came to me one day, somewhat into my adolescence, as I was training in proper etiquette and organization and the ways to present myself to others and diplomacy. But I always had a fondness for rummaging through my lord's libraries, and I imagine that I uncovered some sort of tome that perhaps made this familiar seek me out. And it knows the common parlance, so it was able to tell me just as much as I needed to know, which was not much.
Okay. Hannah.
Yes, well.
Did you want Anduin to go first? How do you pronounce your name again? I'm sorry.
Aldurin.
Alduin.
How you doing?
Just fine.
I'm doing.
Aldurin.
Aldurin. Okay. I wrote down just an A for your name because I missed it. And I was like, should I ask? Is it too late now?
At least this one does not have apostrophes.
Right.
So,
Yeah, especially two of them.
Took me a real long time to be able to spell Zaresk correctly. No, I'll go. So being in the family business, I learned a lot from my family. They had hoped that I would go in a different direction, which we'll get to with a different question. But my natural aptitude for certain... Get the fuck out of here.
Looking at your notes.
Where's your scalpel? I'm going to cut you.
it's in.
It's a kukray.
Not for this game.
Hold still. But my natural aptitude for certain skills made it clear that I would be an asset in the security business. And because of those skills, I found myself in different scenarios with different groups of people and different types of people. So I kind of picked up a little bit all along the way.
So no specific formal training
Yes. Correct.
outside of the training of life.
Yep.
Okay.
That's exactly it.
Aldurin.
Yes.
How did you learn to do the things you did? Who taught you how to stand still and then also guard things at the same time?
A lot of training was done in guard school, actually, which everyone from my family obviously had to go through. And, a lot of other families as well, since there were many guards for this large and imposing tomb. A lot of the religious aspects of things I didn't really pay attention to when I was a younger dwarf, but having had an in-person spoken conversation, in spirit more likely, yes, conversation with Pharasma, you really turn a new leaf when you meet a god. So after waking up in a temple or church of Pharasma, I stayed there for many years learning about herself. And waking up on the other side of the veil, you get a lot of information about the other side of life. Because it doesn't stop, and just in case anyone was wondering, and I will light a pipe at the same time, it doesn't stop here, so and he rambles for a good 10 minutes.
Is that a well-respected occupation?
Which is?
That of guarding a tomb.
It's respected in our hold. We guard our ancestors and their belongings and what they thought was important, and the dead should remain dead. So, and unperturbed,
Disturbed?
Undisturbed. Thank you. As well as unperturbed, because if they were to get up, it would be an issue.
Also, Pharasma also does not like perturbed dead.
No, she's not happy with that. But yes, it's a very respectful job in High Helm, which is where I'm from.
Far be it from me to step on toes. You do have those, yes?
Yes, yeah. They're quite large.
But is it the sort of profession that you wouldn't allow somebody from outside the hold to possess? Is it something that you keep in Sylvster?
Correct. It's we are very protective of our ancestors and their secrets and their possessions.
Aren't we all?
Absolutely, as we should be. In fact, my great grandfather used to have a wonderful battle axe, and it was something that we would have loved to have trained with. But it is in the tomb that I was guarding, so it's just a beautiful relic of our time.
Battle axes are a bit brutish for my tastes, but
I prefer the warhammer myself, or the
that's
dagger.
not much better in my opinion, my humble opinion. But to each their own.
Yeah, if you gotta get real up close and personal, boy, battle axe a little inaccurate. We need a big old falchion.
As soon as we're up close and personal, we're out of my area of expertise, I'm afraid.
Well, see, it's usually better to absolutely destroy the kneecap and everything behind it than it is to try and sever muscles, etc. Because at that point, if you're throwing blows to kill, they should never walk again.
It does make it real hard for them to run away if you're ruining their knee there.
Yeah, see.
Or you could just make it so that they never even get that close to you. Am I right, milady?
I'll take your expertise for it.
Keep them at a distance and they won't hurt you.
Conversation's getting a bit ghoulish for me, I'm afraid.
As they say, you keep them at a distance, you won't need assistance. Everyone answered that question, right? I didn't skip anybody.
I don't know, man.
That was question 4, yes.
Oh, this is perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Is it all right that I'm like...
Absolutely.
Jumping in to like
Absolutely.
pepper him with interrogations or whatever?
Yes, I love this.
I'm really glad that my ceaseless ramblings have thrown everyone off.
I love that. That's
Wonderful.
Well, because in the other game, I'm not interested in anyone's life. And so I feel like I want to be really interested.
His ceaseless ramblings is just him. He's just, this is what he does.
Can I ask you a question, Taylor?
Yes.
Is the training that you received for the guard position that your family and your people held so dearly, is it like a 4-hour course or is it like a formal training over years?
We are often in a training room, probably 4 times a week, I would imagine.
Okay.
If memory serves, we need to be in tip-top shape just in case anything were to happen. But it's hard to block explosions with a shield, you know.
I've found that as well.
So
half the reason to use an explosion.
I never thought about it that way. This is quite wise.
Explosion sounds like it's just going to make things skedaddle on out of there.
Unless you're caught under it.
And it's quite messy, and the oversight and all the paperwork.
Yeah, how do you get a trophy out of something you done blowed up?
why didn't you listen to Mom and become a banker? The life of adventure is not for everybody. For one reason or another, you haven't chosen to settle down and work an ordinary job. Or maybe you have. Why did you end up on this path? Is there a non-adventuring job you'd consider? Or one which you would like to take up potentially someday?
I think a priesthood would be nice in the future.
Of Pharasma?
Yes. When I can't move these bones anymore, or as far in that case. But Mom, I didn't listen to Mom because I listened to a goddess. So
In the family hierarchy, the god kind of does trump Mom sometimes.
Yeah.
it was guard Pharasma's love or work for her. So the family was not upset, especially to see me again.
Yeah.
In general.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
Well, I just want to say, first of all, Abadar is boring as shit. So, I ain't never going to be a banker. Nah, but I travel the world mostly to get up close and personal with what all manner of varmints and beasties I can lay my hands on, and just that feeling of the warm blood on the hands is just something that makes you really feel alive and appreciate being alive, even if, you are part mechanical.
I sincerely apologize for the interruption. Can I touch you?
I mean, you have before.
You are quite cold.
Beg pardon, why would you want to?
I'm curious.
So,
Still got the blood on his
Machine Man,
hands.
what
And he demonstrated
What,
just now
percentage?
on a squirrel.
would you say is blood on you? Is that why you
I don't
have
have
this
much blood on me right now. We ain't gone on a hunt in a couple of days.
You've got a dead squirrel right in your hands. I can see it. You snapped its neck.
Oh, yeah, forgot about
Look,
that.
he's hiding it like a shy little boy.
You're not.
In terms of what parts of me are biological and what parts are mechanical,
Well, and is the need to touch the blood something like because you're compensating for something you're lacking?
compensate for nothing. You crazy fox lady. No, it's just something that, I don't feel like I have a bloodlust as, per se. It's just, finding these all living things out there and kind of taking them down. In a way, it's to show them, prove myself to myself. Prove that, us androids ain't nothing to snigger at,
Sounds like something more of a blood love than a bloodlust.
Sure.
There's nothing more remarkable than that of love between a man and blood.
It's one of those things, when you get into a situation where you could live or die based on your own abilities and your own decisions, and you come out on top. That's what the blood on my hands represents to me, is the overcoming that challenge. And it's finding the next big thing. You guys have heard of the Manticore of Magnamar, right?
Probably. What lore skill
you
is
should have, but, it was one of my earlier hunts a few years ago, and I'm a little disappointed. Thought that would have spread a bit more. Was when I found my love for that kukri.
Can I ask you how Zardoff spells kukri?
I don't think he thinks about it. It's just what he was told it was called.
1001110.
Lady Vesh.
I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with our android friend here, as
As you often do.
I have a feeling we're going to not see eye to eye on very many issues, although I do have the firmest respect for your people. The thing that really made civilization kind of come to me and love being in cities is that the culmination of everybody's work is more than the sum of its parts. Out in the frozen wastes, you do have to survive on your own merits.
Yeah.
Some of us have less to work with than others in that regard, and it's only by everybody working together and benefiting from everybody else's perspectives that we can conquer more than we could on our own. That is in large part why, as you said, I did not listen to my mother, who wanted me to stay out there and follow in her footsteps, become a matron of our encampment. I instead chose to follow my father, as I was enchanted with his stories of meeting many different people and collecting their tales.
Great. And I think
I look to
Kibwe...
make sure that you still have a tail. And look at Hannah, and she still have a tail.
Thankfully, my fur cloak is very long. It's not well looked upon to try to take a glance at a lady's tail.
I don't have a tail, just in case you were wondering.
We know.
I just didn't want him to have to look unnecessarily.
Just wasn't sure which kind of tail you were talking about. Just trying to clarify.
I'm just going to examine my claws, nonchalantly.
I'd like to put my helmet back on.
So, what is the best thing in life? What kind of lifestyle are you used to? We all have our preferred creature comforts. Some people are happy as long as they have a comfy chair and a warm fire. Others demand the finer things in life. And some people seem happy with stale bread, a rock to sleep on, and the blood of a squirrel on their hands. Who do you need in order to be comfortable? And how much more do you aspire to?
Aspiration's an easy one. Bigger and bigger targets. As thinking about what makes Zardoff here happy, I think it's not just that blood on the hands, it's that trophy you get to carry with you. I wear this cloak on my back that I had blessed by a priest of Erastil that helps me out in the wilderness, and it's just again overcoming those challenges is the best thing. And you can stand victorious on top of that beast that you brought down, hand to hand. You can use some steel weapons if you want, but much more than that is kind of cheating as far as I'm concerned.
Do you consider yourself a follower of Erastil?
Rastel's more about like settling down and starting a family and everything, but he's got some good ideas with being the Stag Lord himself. I feel like kind of thankful to him for things that we have in this world, but.
And worst case scenario, it seems like you'd probably at least find a lot in common with other followers of. I want to say Erastil now, you son of a bitch.
That's how I've always heard it, actually.
I don't know which one it is. I don't think I've ever actually heard it spoken before, but you read it so many times and you're like, yeah, Erastil probably. I don't know. Sounds staggy.
Yeah. The followers of Erastil and I get along well because I respect nature, but it's that, I don't go out and trying to eliminate all them living critters out there. It's finding those big ones that are a real challenge. Kind of put yourself in a kill or be killed situation. I'm not always a huge fan of that part of it, but when I come home with the meats for everyone, they don't complain.
Now, do you find yourself specifically hunting targets that are simply just big? Is that the only requirement? Or do you specifically try to find things that are creating havoc, causing a nuisance, that have racked up some disorder or chaos that they are creating? Or is it only about the size and the trophy that could be acquired?
Well, if there's something that's causing a nuisance, that's kind of like gravy. And then I can make some coin off of that I can use to get me things that make me better at what I do. But mostly looking for them natural things that I can pit myself against.
I too am very interested in things of large size.
Interesting.
And I mean, I understand that the drive for a challenge to really, see if you can, match wits and skills. But, I outgrew the need for a trophy when I was just a young kid. And I don't really need the trophy of an accomplishment anymore. I think that just doing the thing is enough, not having to brag about it.
To each their own.
Hannah, what are the finer things in life for you?
I love all the fine things in life. I like nice clothes. I like comfortable accommodations. I love good food. Love good food. Good company is great. With anybody, really. I have a lot of friends.
Just send it.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
Yeah. So I enjoy the social aspect of life and just enjoying the things that my family and I have built and earned.
Aldurin. Did I say it right?
Aldurin.
Aln.
Getting closer every time.
Every time. Baby steps. I'll get there. Same question. I don't remember it either.
No, that's wonderful.
The finer things in life.
I have a feeling he'll be able to tell us something.
Yes, there's many things.
Seems to have a lot on his mind.
That one would enjoy. Yes, it's a good thing to enjoy things in life. Shoes? No, I'm kidding. Sitting by a fire in an inn with an ale and a smoke and people, just talking about life, places you've been. A good day at church, worship.
Yeah.
And enjoying a nice roast or a good feast. Simple things in life.
I like that. Lady Vesh.
Fine wine, scented candles, and a plethora of exotic, beautiful soldiers willing to do my errands for me.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
What's great is that they can carry a lot, and they're also very easy on the eyes.
There's just something about function and form.
Why would I want to choose?
Right.
I could have both.
And why should you choose?
I can't think of a reason.
As a lady of your standing.
Exactly. Glad to see that somebody understands.
What principles do you believe in? What causes do you support? Not everyone we care about is a personal goal or quest. We all have positions on certain issues and sympathies that lie with groups and causes. Maybe you won't join up and fight their battles, but you'll at least sign their petition whenever they ask. First answer gets a hero point.
Not everyone needs to die, even if they've done wrong. You can dissolve situations by sitting down and having a smoke.
And you can blackmail them.
As I said, not everyone has to die for doing evil things.
Yeah.
And Pharasma, rest my soul, not all undead are bad, which is
What?
it's a very common misconception.
They're abominations.
Not all of them. There are some.
Yeah, they are.
Who are just trying to survive, just as we are.
I'm kind of in line with you. You do what you have to do to get by. And if
There's some.
Might argue the choice of word of survive there.
There's some lines that a lot cross.
absolutely.
They already had their chance and they failed. They
Well, so-
already died once.
Also
That-
did
I take
Aldurin
personal.
here.
You made it very clear you ain't undead.
I'm not, no, but I tried my best and I failed.
Personally, I've never met any undead. I assume that they would have fascinating things to say about the light at the end of the tunnel and things of that nature.
So,
don't know
if
if they
you're
speak.
interested, we can talk about this.
I don't need to smoke, do I?
No,
I can just listen?
secondhand, maybe.
You have my attention.
I feel like it's a little bit different too when your god's like, "No, go have another chance, sir." Then some
They're very
necromancer being like, "I'm going to have this zombie come up out of that ground over there," and then it's all like, "Meow."
Well, that is an undead that's unfortunate, has no claim over its own.
Exactly.
So they should be brought to justice, the poor souls,
Mm.
or lack thereof. as it is. I feel like I'm getting Zareski here. And I'm trying real hard to get away from it.
Just keep the smile out of your voice and you should be.
There we go. No backflips here. But no, it's, again, I'll be smitten for that later. But,
Smoted?
Smited? Smite them.
Smith.
Smeet.
Yeah.
Smeated.
Smeated.
He's a cooking something up.
I mean, I suppose it's a fair point that most undead weren't created by their own will. It was always someone else placing that mantle upon them.
They are abominations as equally as they are. It's sad. It's sad. Many of them are a zombie, just a corpse that is reanimated. That brutalizing corpses is never okay, and especially when one is attacking you against its own reason. It's sad.
I dare say they probably think that we're the abominations and they the abominations.
Well, what's interesting is they can't even think for themselves. So it's very clear that the soul itself has the thinking behind it. So it could be that from beyond the grave, the soul is seeing what's happening and is weeping as we crush their skulls in.
Fascinating. All this talk of souls.
I still don't understand why you get close enough to crush their skulls. If you do it right.
Yeah, it feels great when you do it. Just.
Oh, no, this. It's just a massive hammer that's almost the size of me.
Hannah, same question.
With the undead, the people who don't deserve to die, whatever, you do what you have to do to get by. We're all trying to make ends meet here. As long as nothing, I'm here to get mine. As long as whoever in question stays out of my way, whatever, we're all good. More power to you.
So survival first and excess immediately after.
Yes, absolutely. That's always the end goal.
All right. Lady Vesh.
Well, cooperation is the root of the tree of civilization. And I see my duty to bring that tree to people who are maybe outside of its comforting shade. I would like to eventually be able to establish good trade and diplomatic relations between Kibwe and my home up north, especially because many of them don't know what they're missing.
Okay.
That's very honorable of you.
I like to think so.
Well, and you're in a really great spot in Kibwe, too, where there's 10 neighborhoods in Kibwe, each one having kind of its own little dearth and archetype of people that all have their own representatives that represent them and their neighbors on a council. So building community and fellowship and making sure that markets work how markets should work is super important here and something that everyone can take part of.
It's like spa day every day.
Exactly. Mr. Zardoff.
The cat lady talking about diplomacy there is just makes me think of Abadar all over again, and it just ready to go, just put my feet up and take a nap or something. And people that are willing to engage in that kind of stuff is just, you got a problem, just solve it. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But what do I believe in? Principles is self-sufficiency. She's talking about this community, blah, blah, blah. And it's just, as long as you can take care of yourself, you're going to be able to, your society's going to be able to sustain itself that way.
Well, once you figure out how to create your own scented candles and wine, you come back to me. Until then, I'll stay in the palace.
And what about,
palace?
Hypothetically speaking, like when you need like a tune-up or oil change or whatever, like what do you do?
Excuse me. Well, yeah,
do you
I
tinker
understand
under your
that
own hood?
Some people have their own specialties. If you're self-sufficient in that, you've got the coin to go pay them to do those things that you are unable to do.
Your version of self-sufficiency sounds an awful lot like commerce.
I mean, that's part of the society we live in, ain't it?
I think maybe you skimmed Abadar's teachings a little too quickly.
Oh, no, I just skipped right over them.
Right.
So with that said, we will call it there as far as questions go. Starting next episode, we'll get right into the thick of it. We start kind of with a bang, as we will all be in the marketplace. So figure out why you're there, because I didn't.
Boom.
As we start the Slithering in episode 1 of the Lost Omens Presents the Slithering.